Look, we're back to having an intro because it was weird without having an intro. We like having an intro.
Yeah.
So welcome back. Here's the introduction for the Cats and Cradle podcast. Here's what you're going to hear in season 2, episode 6.
Woohoo!
Johnny, what are some of the things we're going to hear?
So we're gonna talk about if our ancestors were disappointed in us.
And spoiler alert, they were.
Yeah, definitely.
And they are.
Yeah, they still are. If they saw us right now, they're like
their podcast isn't even very good. If I was doing a podcast, it'd be better.
Yeah.
We're also going to have our sponsor come in, Doc R. Haldeman, not Cinemark. Maureen Nunez, not invited, but she declined.
Yeah, it's.
But we have our other sponsor who's better, Doc R. Haldeman. She comes and
Yeah.
joins us. She talks to us about moons.
Mm.
I don't think it's the moon you thought it was going to be, Johnny.
Yeah, like not the moon where somebody drives past you and you.
Or maybe it was.
Dun
What?
dun dun. We also talk about
We talk about Nirvana, their Unplugged album.
Yeah. That's what I was talking.
Look, and then we just spew out some knowledge and great times with us. So thanks for listening. We love having you here.
Brandon, hit it.
Oh, yeah! Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, man, it's good to be here with you.
Yeah.
It's
a good day.
You were teasing me. Was it yesterday or today?
I don't know. What was I teasing you about?
Actually, it's one of the items I want to talk about today.
Interesting.
So maybe we can get to the tease right now.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so one of the topics, every now and then, like there's stuff that I'm thinking about throughout the week. And I said, we ought to discuss this on the podcast.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, I want you to think about something that's, actually, no, you asked us this.
What?
This was a question that you asked.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going to get to the question that I want to ask. But this was a question you'd asked me and Mom earlier this week.
Yeah.
Hey, what's something hard that you guys have had to do in your life?
Yeah.
And so we were kind of talking about that a little bit. And then just like I gave an answer like, oh, I lived in Venezuela for 2 years. Like I served a mission there. I was away from my family. Like I had to learn a new language, new customs, new culture, new food, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was challenging. That's not easy. And then Mom said, well, yeah, I went to doctor school to become an acupuncturist in my 40s with 5 kids at home.
Yeah.
Like that's not very easy.
Yeah.
And then you had a great line.
Then I just said, well, I have to do a podcast with my dad every Sunday.
and that's where, I mean, that was a mic drop moment where
like
I was like, dang, dude, that is hard.
Yeah. Like imagine you every single week going over to Grandpa's house.
Dude, it's like it's an anvil hanging over your head that you're just like, yeah, this is gonna fall, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man, but look, it's a gift. It's a community service gift you're giving me.
But like, seriously, it is like a lot of fun. It's not like, I have to do the podcast again. Dang, it's actually fun.
So I've wondered. I'm going to tell you my internal thoughts out loud. You're a cool kid.
Oh, yeah, I know.
When you go through your punk teenager days, I'm just curious. Are you still going to be cool? Or are you going to be like, no, Dad, I'm out? Like that's going to be like your form of rebellion against me. Is like, I'm not going to record a podcast anymore. And so I'll be on here and I'll be like, so yeah. And then I'll like have to get Ralph or somebody, you know.
Yeah. Well, because we talked about this. You said, are you going to be a punk teenager or no in the future? I was like, I'm not going to be one.
I mean, the whole theme of this podcast could change. Like, it'll just be angry. It'll be Angry John at that point.
Yeah. Like, I need a meal or whatever.
I'll be like, hey, Johnny, so tell me about this. You'll be like, whatever, Dad. You're so dumb.
You're like, so, I heard you went to the theme park or whatever. Yeah, it was stupid.
All we did is wasting time in these lines and stuff, and there weren't even cute girls there.
Yeah. What is going on?
What do you think about your nieces and nephews? Ugh.
When are they coming back? Because I do not want to be here during that.
They are pooping in their diapers. They're like grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
Sorry to our listeners, grandma and grandpa.
Yeah. They're not pooping in their diapers. Oh.
We'll have to get, grandma and grandpa to potty train great grandbabies. Have we revealed the new gender of grandbaby to come?
We have not.
Okay, so you're going to have
I'm not going to have it.
Well, it's
Addison
a niece or nephew.
Oh, nephew.
I love the pause. Like, okay, it's a boy.
Yeah.
What is the corresponding gender of a niece and
B-O,
nephew?
wait, BOYYW, nephew.
So we're super excited. I mean,
Yeah.
like me having Addie, then Aubrey, like awesome having two girls that way they can be buddies. But it's all look. I know some guys that are they're girl dads, and that's a real thing. Like
Yeah.
it's an awesome thing to have only girls, but it's like it's also fun to have a mixture of genders. You just get different experiences, and
Yeah.
and look, it's fun. All kids, the main thing is you want them to be healthy.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, if they're not healthy, then you at least you just want to love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Need to revisit the country fried steak.
Oh.
So we talked about this 2 episodes ago,
Uh-huh.
and I got called out by a couple people.
Yeah.
So there's different things. So part of the reason there's some confusion around country fried steak, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
So country fried steak is traditionally made with beef.
Oh. Wait, what?
So it's tenderized cube steak. So it's not like it's not like a filet mignon. It's not like a ribeye. It's not like a tri-tip. It's not like a, but
Wait.
it's a cube steak. So it's kind of a tougher cut.
Uh-huh.
So it's breaded and it's fried.
So it's not chicken.
But there's another dish that's called sometimes chicken fried chicken or country fried chicken. So country fried steak, country fried chicken.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be a little bit different. So they might sometimes they'll call it country fried steak and it's chicken. Sometimes it's country fried chicken and it's chicken. Sometimes
That's
country
so
fried
weird.
steak is a steak. But
why would they do that? That's so weird.
a contact through work,
Uh-huh.
he again, what's funny is, and somebody's going to listen to this. It's in this scenario. So there's people that want to do business with me at work, and so they they go on LinkedIn and this guy has a podcast. Oh, let me listen to an episode. And so this guy listened to the latest episode, and he said, "Hey, by the way, your take on country fried steaks are way off. You are out of line."
What?
And he said, "You need to come down to the South and have a country fried steak so you know what's up."
I don't think like telling somebody you're so wrong is good for business.
Well,
like you are absolutely in the wrong.
I mean, look, from his perspective, he digs on it'd be like me saying to you, like, "Hey, French toast is the worst."
It's not. I mean, like, I don't know.
If I say, "Oh, French toast is terrible,"
Okay,
what's a food you love?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Just if you say food is terrible.
Food is terrible, Jonathan.
Get
Right? So it's like, well, hold on. You can't say food is terrible. Like, maybe if you go and so what was crazy is a buddy of mine, he lived in Australia for a couple of years.
Actually, Australia sounds so cool.
You know, it actually,
Like
sorry,
the giant
it was,
spiders.
sorry, it wasn't Australia. It was New Zealand.
Oh.
So he lived in New Zealand for a few years.
Yeah.
And when he was living in New Zealand, they brought just some seasonings. And so they'd have people over for dinner. They're having, just chicken. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, this chicken is amazing. How did you make this so good?" They're like, "We put salt and pepper on it."
What?
They're like, "What? This is amazing."
Wait. So they're like
like they just don't season their food as much. Like we put a lot of seasonings on our food. Like the Brits, the English folks, who now we're gonna get arrested if we go over there for saying this.
Wait, what?
Like their food is bland. It's just bleh.
Well, let's Sam from
Sam and Liesel.
Yeah.
Sam is from England. Yeah, your food is bland, brother.
Yeah, we're sorry.
Look, you've been in America long enough that you should be importing some of our sauces and seasonings to your friends and your family over in England.
I'm pretty sure in in Thailand it's illegal to chew gum.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Did you call it Thailand? Did you do that on purpose? Or?
I don't know. It's like THAI, like thigh. It doesn't make sense.
I love this Thailand food.
No, in Thailand it's illegal to chew gum.
Yeah, I'm not a gum chewer. Like
I'm a gum chewer. Like when you get older, like you can't chew gum because it gives you cancer, right?
I don't know. Where did you hear that? Is that a mom thing?
Mom said.
I don't know. I mean, dude, at this point, everything gives you cancer.
I eat.
The sun gives you cancer.
What?
Skin
skin cancer. Yeah. Fun fact: Australia has the highest rate of skin cancer.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure that out.
Is that a fun fact or is that a scary fact?
I don't know. It's pretty fun.
I mean, you made it pretty fun.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Fun fact. Check this one out, mate.
Yeah.
The kangaroos are causing the skin cancer, baby.
Have you ever seen a boxing kangaroo?
Those dudes look. I say dudes. It's clearly a kangaroo.
Yeah.
They look crazy. Like they're all buff and stuff.
If I saw one of those, I would run. I probably, and then he just come in, boom.
So I've seen these videos of like guys on the golf course and like they're going to like hit a shot and a kangaroo gets in their way and they're like, come on, get out of the way. And all of a sudden the kangaroo squares up and some of these Australian dudes start squaring up against the kangaroo. Yeah. They're like, you want somebody? Come on. They're all fighting a kangaroo, which is crazy.
It's like a dog runs out on a golf course and the dog gets in the way and tries, get out of the way, you dumb dog.
So there's a golf course in Cedar City I've played at before. Yeah. And they have a bunch of, it's not groundhogs, but like moles or whatever.
Oh, dang.
And so it's like there's all these holes like in the fairway, right? And so you hit a great shot and all of a sudden you're like, where's my ball at? And it's down in some like varmint hole. So one time I'm going, I can't find my hole. My ball, it went into a hole. It killed one. It killed one of these groundhogs, moles, varmints, whatever it is.
Dang.
I don't know. Yeah.
What did you do about it?
I just dropped a ball and hit another one.
You just framed it on the wall.
Well, yeah, whatever, dude. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like skin the animal and eat it. I don't know.
I mean, I hear mole is pretty good.
That was my opportunity missed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
All right, so this is one of the things I wanted to talk to you about.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to get there quite yet. We're not going to get there quite yet.
Dang.
We were talking about somehow we were talking about Nirvana this past week.
Oh.
Yeah, Mom started singing the song "Jesus Don't Want Me for a Sunday."
I was playing a song on the guitar, and then you were playing.
I was playing a song on the guitar, yeah, and Mom said, "Oh, that sounds like Jesus Don't Want Me for a Sunday." And you're like, "What is this?" And so then we pulled up the Unplugged album, and we were listening to it, watching the video on YouTube. And you're like, you had some hot takes that were kind of weird for us to hear those from your mouth. Do you remember this?
Yeah, kind of. I don't remember what I said, though.
Well, you were disappointed in some of the instrument choices that were going along with the song.
Like, I don't know. I just don't really like there's some instruments that I'm not a huge fan about, you know?
Like a cello?
Yeah, like, no.
And an accordion.
Accordion is fine, like, but it's just like, what the heck?
But I thought it was cool. Like, that song sounds so cool. And for you to be like, why do they don't have a cello in there? You sound like an old man.
I don't know.
Back in my day, there weren't cellos and rock and roll songs.
I don't know. It just I don't know. I guess I was just delirious that night.
It wasn't even at night. It was like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
What?
Yeah, you were like, dude, you need to clean the kitchen. You need to do your chores. And before you do that, watch this music video.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Like, it sounds cool, but like, once you see how it happens, it's like kind of weird, you know?
Yeah, it's like the magic is lost when you see, how they make cartoons sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, like, you know?
Like, that's not as cool as I thought it was.
Yeah. Like, they didn't, like, I feel like it would be really cool if, like, for the cartoons, they have real actors, you know?
They do have real actors.
No, but they
like
playing the
actors.
Cartoon part.
They're all CGI and then they like make
Yeah.
But that's the reason they're doing it with cartoons is because typically the cartoons can't do what the humans could do.
It's like whatever Mickey Mouse or no, like Tom and Jerry. Tom pulls out like a hammer or whatever and starts smashing Jerry, and then the real actor just walks out with like a broken leg or whatever, you know, like there's nothing you can do about it.
It's dangerous. There's dangers there.
Yeah.
We're brought to you by Cinemark.
Yeah.
Bringing you movie club, $10 a month to get a movie ticket, get some discounts on concessions.
The movie ticket does roll over.
Does roll over month to month. I got a bunch of movie tickets rolled up right now. We gotta go to the movies. We haven't been to actual movies in a little bit.
Yeah, but
any movie you watched this past week that you wanted to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
You were watching. What was the movie you were watching the other night? That it was I think it was on Monday. It was Jim Carrey.
Oh, Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was okay. Like in the beginning, it was kind of funny, and he's doing all this stuff. But then it was just like kind of like a romantic comedy.
Yeah, and you're not into the romance, eh?
I don't know. Like I'm not like, oh, this sucks.
Blah.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like whatever. I don't care. I don't. You know.
Yeah, you're whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did I haven't watched the movie, but I started watching AP Bio.
Oh yeah.
On Netflix.
Is it funny?
TV show. So I'm like 2.5 episodes in.
Mm.
It is funny. Like the guy's kind of, so there's a guy who used to be a Harvard professor, somehow lost his tenure, went
Mm.
off on people, couldn't teach at Harvard. So now he's teaching AP bio, but he's a philosopher and he has no desire to teach biology.
And
And so he's
he
just
took-
negative and snarky, and his class is trying to get him to teach.
and he doesn't teach him at all.
And he doesn't teach him at all. And there's some elements of it that are kind of funny. And then there's some parts of it you're like, why wouldn't you just fire this guy? Like this guy's
Yeah.
like, hey, look, you're down on your luck. Stop being a jerk. But anyway, it's a comedy. There's some funny parts to it.
I was trying to watch a show, and so I'm like, I just like, I don't know. There's no shows that I can actually watch. Like, there's a show that I like called St. Dennis Medical, but it comes out every Wednesday. So like every Wednesday, I'm like, boom, watched it, done. You know, like I can, and it's just like I wish there's more episodes or whatever. But
So welcome to my world. Like that's how life used to be. Like now you live in a world where it's instant gratification. Like, bam, right now I want to give me my episodes. I want all 15 seasons.
yeah,
You can binge watch it. And the world that I grew up in was hey, you have to wait till Thursday night. And like we didn't have DVRs and recorders and things like we had a VHS. And so a lot of times like you could kind of program it, but then who knows what would happen? Like it wouldn't turn on. Then you're like, Mom, please, at 8:00 you have to hit record. It has to be on channel 3. And then like here's the funniest thing. So we have these VHS cassette tapes at my mom's house, and it'll say stuff on there like Nate's first steps, or it's like baseball t-ball games, like so these home videos, like magical moments of like seeing like, okay, the family's together and we're doing this awesome stuff. And so you're watching it. Hey, let's watch this. This will be really cool. And so you turn on the VCR, you push play, you're watching, and all of a sudden, like the video kind of shuffles.
Yeah.
And then like an episode of an old TV show comes on.
Like,
it's
okay.
like we really needed that episode of MASH or something.
Yeah. It's like, honey, look, Nate's taking his first step. And welcome back.
Dallas.
Yeah. But back to what I was saying. So I'm like trying to find this show, and there's like the show. I don't know. It was kind of dumb, but these people go on a plane, and then they get off the plane, and it was been like I don't know, something happened, and they come. So like they leave at like 2013, and they come back, and it's 2018, but they feel like it was just a normal plane ride, whatever. But everybody else down on the earth, like
so everybody fast forward 5 years, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So basically, they came back, and they're like, whoa, your iPhone is awesome.
I don't know. It was I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It was like, but like it's kind of stupid, like or whatever. But basically, somehow they get superpowers or whatever. But like, there's like this kid who's 8 years old, and he has a twin, and then he comes back, and the twin is like 13 years old, but he's still 8 years old. That'd be so weird.
Yeah, that would be weird.
And like that would be also super weird, like taking your driver's test at 11 years old.
Yeah, you're like, hey, technically I'm 11. Legally.
Yeah.
Mathematically, yeah.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Okay. I agree. That would be weird.
Yeah.
Hopefully you enjoy that show if you watch it, or if you don't watch it, then
I'm not going to watch it.
You're done. You're out. Okay, so this past week I read a story about our ancestry. So it's somewhere up my mom's line.
Mm.
And this guy was a well-to-do, rich guy in England.
Yeah.
This is in the 1800s.
Mm.
And then he felt the call from God, like, hey, we need to move to America. So they sold all their belongings.
Yeah.
Landed in America. They had 9 people, I think. They said,
Wait.
I think it was 9 people in their travels.
Did they fly or did they?
No, this was pre-airplanes. This is in the 1800s.
Boat?
So they took a boat, and so they had a 6x6 space on the boat, 6 feet by 6 feet. And so they had 9 people in their party, so they had to sleep in shifts.
Oh.
And then they arrive here, and then they end up taking the trek west to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
They were one of the last groups to leave. So this guy could build things. He was like, I think he was like a cabinet maker or whatever. He was good with hands. So he's helping build these hand carts, and then they take this hand cart company.
Yeah.
And so it was crazy though, because this guy, he's rich, well-to-do in England, sells everything, and then basically ekes out a meager living once they made it to Utah.
That'd be hard.
So as I was reading this story, I was thinking about, okay, what would this guy think about us?
Oh.
And so now this is where I come to the question that I asked you to ponder earlier in the week. of what kind of things do you think if our ancestors would come and talk to us,
Yeah.
that they would just look down on us and be like, what? Like, or what would they say? What would they think about us?
Well, one thing I think for sure, they waste so much water. I think like they're like on these trails. They're like, oh my gosh, I wish we had water, and we're taking baths, and they're like, oh, the water got a little cold. Why don't we just undo it and fill it up again?
Like how we wash dishes, just water just go down the
Yeah.
sink.
We're like, we turn on the cold water and like, dang, we want the hot water to warm up. We just leave it there for a couple of minutes, and they're like, like then they just think about them, and they're pushing these carts, and they're like, when's the next water? And they're like, I don't know, Johnny.
Seriously, they
Yeah.
didn't know, man. That's a scary thing to think about.
I know, and like, I'd also think like we're so lazy too. Like, we 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 don't even drive on our own now. We let cars do it for us. You know, like we'll come home and we'll sit in front of the TV and do whatever.
So the laziness is no, look, there's lazy people back then, just
Yeah.
as there's lazy people now. Now I think it's easier to be lazy, probably more fun to be lazy now than it was back then. Like back then, if you're lazy, like you're probably just sitting in a chair.
Yeah, like just staring at the wall or whatever.
Yeah, they're like, Ruffles, what are you doing sitting in that chair staring at the sun? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
trying to go blind.
I'm thinking.
I was thinking about how the sun does that thing that it does.
but nowadays, like we can be lazy, and it's funny because like we do it under this guise of like, well, I'm like my lazy, like, oh, I'm reading news articles, or I'm on X and I'm seeing what's trending, or whatever it is, and so
Yeah.
it can be under the guise of like, oh, I'm getting more information, but it's also like, but you're just getting crap information, like,
Yeah, why do you need that much? Like, you don't need it.
or read a book, like a thought provoking book, and
Yeah.
or even just think, like, I think when as I said, just
Think about what that sun does, the thing that it does.
But how much time, like our time is so programmed where we always have to be doing something.
Yeah.
And so if you're not going to school, then I want you doing your homework, or I want you to be practicing your piano,
Yeah.
or go read a book or whatever. It's like, how much time do we pause and just say, hey, I'm just going to contemplate life?
I actually like it kind of sucks. Like I want to go to bed like earlier, but like if you ever just like laid in bed and think, like in the morning sometimes I'll do that or whatever, but it's just like you just sit there and just think. It's just nice.
Yeah. I mean, when I used to run a lot, one of the things I really enjoyed about when I would run is I didn't run with headphones, and that was a meditative time for me where I could just take any problem that I had going on, and I would just think about it for the next hour as I'm running.
Yeah. Like when I work out, like I don't know, I have to work out with music. I feel like if I'm just working out in silence, it just doesn't really work for me. I don't know.
Well, there's a thing I call people like that, mentally weak.
Mentally weak.
So yeah, you're mentally weak. I mean, when you're working out in the gym, like you're pumping weights, like to me, there's value, but I don't know. Like, look, I can work out with or without music. I understand like music can help motivate and kind of keep you going. And when I ran, like I just didn't need it. Like I did run with music, and then I got to a point where like, why am I running with? Like I think at one time I had a long Saturday run.
Yeah.
And I forgot to charge my iPad, or not iPad, the
iPod.
iPod. Yeah, that's what
I
it
got
was.
one of those for my 5th birthday.
The shuffle.
Yeah.
Shuffle thing. So like my iPod was dead, so I'm like, oh, I got to run like 13 miles. I don't have anything. And as I did, I was like, holy cow! I came back like I was so refreshed mentally
Yeah.
from that run because of the time I had to think. So maybe I just need to schedule more thinking time.
I remember my iPod shuffle. I had some like comedy Jim Gaffigan on it or whatever. Just like some like I don't know. It was just like songs that you would listen to or whatever, and it was awesome. I loved it.
So I think the thing my ancestors would be most disappointed is kind of what you like. They spend so much time looking at screens.
Yeah.
I think they would be disappointed that like how often we are just watching TV, looking at our phones. They'd be like, why aren't they talking to each other more? Why aren't they going visiting their neighbors? Why aren't they being more social?
I feel like they would do it too though, because like if they like it, depending on if
culture stuff, right?
Like yeah, they're like, what the heck is that? Like what is like? I bet they would sit in front of the TV for hours too.
I mean, like this past week, I was enthralled watching these videos of these terrible plane crashes. Right? I mean,
what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Washington.
The Washington one, then the Philadelphia one. It's terrible, but like you're getting news, and then you're like, how did this happen? What's going on?
Yeah,
it's crazy. All right, let's bring up our other sponsor.
Oh, Doc R. Haldeman, LLC.
bringing you happiness, health, and healing.
In a myriad of ways.
One of those ways is herbs.
Yeah. Another is acupuncture.
Another is gua sha.
Another is microcurrent.
Another is health advice, and we are happy to
Another
have. Oh, go ahead.
another is cupping.
Another is telling you that she loves you.
Another wait a minute.
I mean, that's probably not for most people, but that is for us.
Yeah, it's probably mostly for like her kid and husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and bring in Doc R. Haldeman. We're happy to have her.
Yeah.
All right, so we are back with Doc R. Haldeman.
Yeah, welcome.
And we don't say this about all of our guests, but we are going to say this about you.
We love you.
And actually, we should say that about all of our guests because
Yeah.
they've all been family.
Yeah, but it'd be a little awkward if we had somebody that wasn't family, right?
Well, Mary Beth.
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
family.
yeah.
Well, she's a future family.
Yeah, yeah.
You're looking good.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, the earphones are kind of messing up the earring look that you got there, but man.
Thank you.
Okay, we were talking about having you on. We like having you on. The people like having you on.
Yeah.
They appreciate your health tips.
I wanna
Great.
She was like, I have nothing to say to this.
Yeah.
So we were talking yesterday. Were you going to say something?
No.
So we were talking yesterday about the moon cycles.
Yeah.
And so go ahead and just break it down. Moon cycles. Tell us about that.
Okay, so yes, the moon cycle, it has an influence over the body. And in times past, like before electricity in history, people worship the moon and the sun and all this, which is a little ridiculous. But
We're not going to be judgmental, but
yeah, we're not going to
yeah.
be judgmental. But
It's okay if you worship the moon and the sun still today.
and if you're a cat person.
Yeah.
But it before electricity, women would give birth on a full moon, and so there, even when I was giving birth with, with all of our kids and stuff, there was a high influx of deliveries, labor and deliveries on full moons, which I find interesting because we have electricity now and we are influenced a little bit differently. But seasonally, there's a huge shift. The two major shifts are in spring and in fall. So March and April, September, October, those are big shifts. So the way the sun and the moon and the earth align, it causes an energetic shift within the body. An example of that is the Amazon River will flow against its current. And I know we don't live by the Amazon River, but we still have that same phenomenon. And if the Amazon River, being one of the largest rivers, it's flowing against its current and its great number of water, we are 70% or more of water, and so that does have an influence over us. So it was kind of interesting this January, like I think it was last week, was Lunar New Year, and that's the first new moon of the year. And I can't tell you how many people came in with symptomology because of that time. They were like, why am I so lightheaded? I'm so dizzy. People were falling. People were having like fast heart rates. Just very interesting things going on around that time. So we just it's important to take good care of your body so that you can ebb and flow through moon cycles.
So we don't live near the Amazon, but we do shop on Amazon. Does that affect it at all?
It definitely affects you. Yes.
Okay.
Dang.
Okay, so
That is insane.
Yeah, we gotta be careful of that. All right, so one of the things we're talking about. So you're saying something about so you were saying January and then I think July or so because kind of the heat.
Yeah.
And so right now it's the cold time. July it's the hot time, and you were saying that it can affect us in a lot of ways.
It's low tide. So like that new moon, and a lot of people have gone to the beach. So on a full moon, there's a really high tide. I mean, there's a time of the night that the tide is high regardless of if the moon is full or not. But there's an exceptionally higher influence on the tide being full when there's a full moon, or higher when there's a full moon. And so it's the coldest month of the year for us. It's the lowest period of the moon, so low tide, and that's the reason why the moisture in the body is a little low. So people having like a fast heart rate or almost a heart attack or something like that, it's because the moisture in the body is not as abundant and it can't grab or quell the fire in the body. So the fire is fast movement, the fast heart rate, fiery hot flashes, all that kind of thing. So this is like the winter time, and that's what that day was. So
Okay, so we can't do anything about that because that's just the earth has its cycles and things like that. But so what can we do to prepare ourselves for those
well,
things?
there are two key things that we can do to prepare ourselves. We provide our body with yin and yang. So everyone knows the Kung Fu Panda, the Tai Chi symbol, the black and the white, where there's a little opposing dot in there. Okay, so the black portion is the yin portion, the white portion is the yang portion. And we provide yin and yang for our internal environment in our body. So the yin aspect of the body is food that we take in, and the yang aspect that we provide for the body is air, breath. So those two things are key as we are trying to help to maintain balance within our body, to provide ourselves appropriate amount of breath and appropriate amount of nutrition so that we can ebb and flow through these more difficult transitions.
All right, so last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever we talked about like the broth. So that's obviously, there's a lot of areas you could dive in on the food. Talk to us real quick about breath.
Breath, so in the wintertime, it's kind of hibernation season for people to really go all out and, be extreme exercising in the wintertime. It's not really that fantastic because we need a time for restoration, a time for yin balance in our body. And that's the winter time, and respecting that. We don't live in a culture that slows down for anything. As a matter of fact, one of the busiest times of year for us is the winter, December, with all these, these holidays and things like that. So the most important thing for us to do is to respect that balance. In the wintertime, simple breath work. While you're sitting in bed, you can just do 20 deep breaths. Some people, yoga breaths, call it square breathing, where you inhale for 7, hold for 7, then exhale for 7, or something like that. There's a whole bunch of different counts and stuff like that. But doing 20 of those in the morning, then doing 20 of those in your lunch break, and then 20 of those at nighttime. Like, if that's all you have energy to do, that's fantastic that you're doing that. So starting very simply, and allowing your body to move in breath. That's the chi in the body. That's the movement of the blood through the body.
Is it okay to doom scroll while breathing?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Dang it.
Yeah, you need to be a little more mindful.
What am I supposed to do while I'm breathing?
You just think or something?
Yeah, sorry.
All right, so last question, completely unrelated to anything we've been discussing, at least with you. John and I were just talking about what things would your ancestors be disappointed in you? Like if people from 200, 300 years ago came and saw us, our lifestyle and all that stuff, what do you think how would they judge us? Be like, really? You're doing that?
Probably the quantity of clothing changes. Like, do we really need that many? Probably.
Yeah. How many shoes do you need?
Yeah.
Why are you, cracking open a bag of whatever? Why are you making your life so easy by doing that and then killing yourself?
See, would they be jealous? That's what I wonder. Would they be jealous of it, or because it's kind of
disappointed? I think they would be disappointed because they're like, we offered you this body by sacrificing all of this that we did, and this is what you're doing to it.
Yeah, I mean, because like by the sweat of your brow versus here's some chow. I don't know.
Wise words from a wise man.
All right, Dr. Haldeman, go visit her
702-258-7860.
Call her, get a free consultation.
Yeah.
We always enjoy having the lovely Dr. Haldeman with us. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Dude, your mom's awesome.
I know.
She's a good lady.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good week to you this week.
Yeah.
Oh, I had one more thing I wanted to talk about.
Dang.
What are some things that you have to do that you wish you didn't have to do? Like just in like all things. Like here's where I'm going with this. I mean, sometimes like going to the bathroom's a drag. Like, why do we have to do that?
Something I hate so much. I know hate is a strong word. Every single night I always wake up and I have to go pee and it's like at the randomest time, like 3 in the morning.
You should tell mom. Mom can help you with that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You
It's-
can, part of it is you probably are drinking too much water at a certain time before you go to bed.
Yeah.
So that could be part of it.
Water is good before you go to bed. It helps you sleep better.
I don't know. Talk to mom about it. But there might be, because you should be able to have enough, longevity to last throughout the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, like I don't know. Going to doctors is annoying. Paying bills. I hate paying bills.
Bills.
Yeah, who's this bill guy? Why do I keep got to give him money?
Yeah. I like school. School like is okay. Like I don't really like doing like all the work, but it kind of gives you purpose. And I feel like I don't know
Like dishes.
dishes.
It's one thing like you cook. Like here's the worst as an adult is you cook food.
and it's amazing.
It's amazing. The family eats food, and then you're like fighting them to do dishes.
Yeah, it's like
Like if you
Hey.
make the food, you shouldn't have to clean up.
yeah, you're like oh I just made this amazing meal for you guys. Can you guys help? No.
Run for the hills. Oh, I got a test tomorrow. I got to study.
Yeah, like I'm actually sleeping right now. I don't know. There's
Wake up.
what-
Well, thanks for joining us, crew.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure. And I guess we're just gonna go ahead and sign off with a lot of love.
Brandon, why don't you hit it for us?
Oh, just to close it off.
Uno more time. Yeah.
All right.
Uno más.
Uno más. Have a good one. Oh yeah! Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon.